think it was more of my agency. So my agency sort of helped out big time on that because I was playing league before I came here. So I was playing league probably like the past 2 years before I came to Japan, and after high school, I was sort of like aiming for a career in the NRL or like the league, and then this sort of stumbled across my table, and it was either to come here or to go to Townsville, so like the northern Queensland part of Australia, and I just thought, come here, just give it a crack, see how it is. Yeah. No, it's mad. I think it's real cool. Like obviously the aspect of coming to Japan itself. Japan has such a buzz around it. So I think that was one of the biggest factors of coming over, just to travel a bit and to see the other side of the world. It was a bit to take on at the start. I think it was completely different to sort of where I'm from. So I think the biggest shock was sort of like the culture. It was a bit of a culture shock, but like just staying here and just getting around the people and getting around, the areas is helping out a bit to transition. So I think it was after the Reds trip, our first Reds trip. I think last year we went to Australia. So we went there, and I was like, I'm back home. This is cool. But then I just noticed around me nothing's changed about Brisbane. I haven't missed out on anything. So, and then when I came back to Japan, I was like, I think after that point, I was like, this is my home, and that's when I got used to it. I don't really think that if I was, somewhere to stay in Australia, then I would have, learned the things that I've learned since being here. So I think just the environment, the Japanese environment, was, my sort of favorite thing. I feel like I learned Japanese a bit better just being around the Japanese boys. So I try to do that as much as I can, and just have a chat with them. Half the time we don't even understand each other, but we just give it a crack anyway. So. I think one of the first words I learned was shimastaka. So I just say something, shimatu wa nani shimastaka, and then just what kino wa nani shimastaka, sort of thing, just what they do, and pretty much that. Ofu no hi wa neru koto ga suki nanode zutto nette imasu. So any chance I get, I'm hitting the snooze button and just sleeping pretty much. But I tried this year. Me and my neighbor Essay, so he's my neighbor, and we sort of talked to each other about our New Year's resolutions, and I was telling him that I probably want to try and get out a bit more and probably not stay in my room and in my bed all day. So this year I'm trying to not nap as much. I'm going pretty well so far, but it's only 18 days into the new year, so we'll see how we go. Japan has so much stuff you can go and travel, so I'll probably just hit I want to go Kyoto, Okinawa, and for some reason I still haven't gone Disneyland or anything. I've told myself that last year I was going, okay, let's go Disneyland this weekend, or let's just get out the house, and then usually when I get home, I'm in bed, I just stay there. I'm just I was meant to go to Disneyland this weekend. But that's probably what I want to do, just travel a bit more around Japan, just, see where, the country that I live in. So that's another thing with the New Year's resolution. I want to try to do stuff more by myself. If I'm going somewhere and I don't have someone with me, I'm okay, that's all right, I'll just stay home then. But so I want to try to hit places by myself and just learn to travel and all that by myself. So probably the three closest people that I've got to know a bit more than sort of the rest of the boys is maybe Oki. Oki was the first person because obviously we came at the same time. We had to come maybe 2 weeks before preseason started last year. So we came in, we sort of hung out at the clubhouse, and then it sort of just built from there. And then SA, because SA is my neighbour. He's also an Aussie boy, so it was good to have him around, and he's sort of been like my older brother nowadays. So he picks me up for trainings, and then we'll go together, we'll come back. So that we've really made a bond. And probably Nella, Taniela Vera, So with him, I probably just bonded with him. I actually don't know how. We just clicked. So probably those are the three closest boys that I've bonded. It's like a nickname, throughout the boys, they call SA and his partner my parents, sort of thing. So I was fair enough. They sort of act like it. I think it was a bit better than what I first thought. I thought, these guys, just small Japanese boys, sort of thing. But I came in, that's sort of the complete opposite of that. I'm really impressed with, how the Japanese level is at the moment, and I can just see it building from here. So I think when I got here, I thought I was not really in for an easier ride, but I think, I was back in Australia, I'm sort of making big tackles or, bumping people off, and I thought I could do the same here. I learned quick that I couldn't do that. These boys are pretty strong and they're pretty nifty. They've got a lot of skills, so that was a big wake-up call. But I think I'm really impressed with how the footy is here. So I think obviously in the league, we have to run a bit higher. So I sort of tried that when I came here, and I just got chopped right at my legs. So I was okay, I'll probably never do that again. So probably just body height sort of stuff. the way I got to tackle as well. The Japanese boys really like to carry low, so I have to really drop my body height to sort of tackle them, and those sort of stuff. They're really like in tune with the finer details, which is something that I was completely new to, like sort of like where to hit on your shoulder and like how to get down and how to press up forward. So those little stuff they're probably teaching me a lot more than what I've learned in the Aussie footy since I've been here. It's like off-field sort of stuff as well. Like we'll finish trainings and I'll come back to the clubhouse and there's still boys doing gym, or like we'll finish training and like there's boys doing extras, and that sort of stuff I wasn't really used to. So in that sort of sense, I thought like, oh, if these guys are doing it, then who am I if I don't do that sort of thing. So I sort of like gravitated towards that sort of thing, and sort of their mindset sort of helped my mindset build it to where it is now. So yeah, I've really developed, I think. Before I came to Japan, I sort of looked at who was on the team, and I saw obviously like Marika Corbett. So he was a big one. Obviously, he's such a big name in Australia. So I was like, wow, I'm going to be playing on the same team as Marika. And then obviously like Lou Diaga and Damien Delandy, they've been a part of such a powerhouse team for so long now, and thinking that I get to train and play footy with them, I was like, oh wow. And another one was Vince Ussell. So he's got a bit of a big name back where my hometown in New Zealand, Wellington, because he played for the Hurricanes. And so I sort of knew about him when I was real young. And then when I saw that he was here, I was like, oh, far out, like, is this like professional? This is what it is now. So I know Vince pretty well. Now we've created a bit of a bond now. Marika as well, and Lud and Damien. So yeah, all those boys cool. I sort of thought that they're sort of like, oh, they've been in the mix for so long. So I thought like, I'm just a nobody from Australia. So I thought they'll just be like, oh, just wave at me here and there. But they're really good people. They'll come up to you for a chat, and you can have a good laugh with them. So it's funny. Me and Oki were talking about this before. I think like the padded towels with our last name on it. I think I'm guaranteed at least 2 towels a game. So to those 2 people, or those fans that are having those towels, those are my people, man. Those are my heart and soul. Those people. So yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, probably just that. Maybe 3 max a game. But there's always going to be 2 Stowers towels out there. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, I'll take that.